Good afternoon, graduates, my fellow faculty, staff, and colleagues, and the families and friends of the graduating class of 2021. It is a privilege to welcome you to our graduation ceremony. My name is Austin Parrish, and I'm the Dean of Indiana University's Maurer School of Law. Before we start, just a few brief technical notes. This event is currently being live streamed to you over YouTube and will be available for later viewing on the Maurer School of Law channel. Students, faculty, and staff who are inside this Zoom room are invited to use the chat function, and those watching through the YouTube channel can use the comments function. You can access a digital program booklet on the law school's website. You'll find it the quickest by typing commencement into the search bar, and we'll also drop the link into the chat for your convenience. Live captioning is enabled for individual use within Zoom. Just click on the live transcript at the bottom of your Zoom screen to view captions. Lastly, out of courtesy for our presenters, we ask that participants remain muted throughout the event. To begin our ceremony, my congratulations to the graduating class. Our law school was founded in 1842. We are the ninth oldest law school in the nation and the first public law school in the Midwest. And you are the 164th graduating class of this great institution. I know we can't do it, but I think we need a round of applause by everybody. I know it doesn't quite come out in Zoom. So many of our faculty and staff are with us today, and I know your family members are too. We've cheered you on for the past 3 years, and we are extremely proud of all that you've accomplished. Some of you much more than 3 years. That's particularly true for this year, a class who graduated in a pandemic. And so I think we need another round of applause, and this will be the last one for everybody here. This is amazing. For those watching, I can't emphasize how fabulous this class is and how many achievements they have. This afternoon, our goal is to celebrate these achievements. First, you'll hear from Professor Jeff Stake, who has been selected by the graduating class as this year's faculty speaking. After Professor Stake, you'll hear from two classmates. First, Eleonora Colombo for the graduate degree program, and then John Pope for the JD class. Third, classmate Sarah Kelly will formally present the class gift. And after those initial presentations and speeches, we'll present 3 awards. So let's begin. 2 years ago, we revived an old tradition. Our graduating students select a faculty member to speak to the graduating class. Professor Jeff Stake is the Robert A. Lucas Chair and Professor of Law at the law school. He really needs no introduction, and Professor Stake, the virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you, Dean Parrish. Welcome to graduation, Maurer graduates and loved ones. It is the honor of my lifetime to speak to you today because this day, your graduation is great stuff. You did it. You did it. You did it. You are all wonderful. If every class were like this one, I would never retire. I want you to know that you've added immeasurably to my life. This graduation is a wonderful day. It's time to celebrate enthusiastically. I know that the faculty is thinking of you today with glasses raised, full of admiration. Let me go no further before giving the Maurer family, the administration, staff, faculty, and all of your loved ones a chance to recognize your accomplishments. While we cheer, clap for yourselves and for each other. Let's carry on for a few extra seconds so that even with a streaming delay, there will be a moment when people are applauding you all around the world. It is traditional to give some advice. When nothing came to mind, I asked my children what I had told them that was worth remembering. They could not think of anything either. Well, one daughter did say that my advice to learn how to sleep in any position had proved useful. So, learn how to sleep in any position. Despite my failures in the past in giving advice, I will offer a couple of points of advice today. But I do so aware of Anne Frank's observation that we can give good advice, but the final forming of a person's character lies in their own hands. I'd like to talk about luck. You have faced multifaceted adversity. Midway through your 4th semester, a virus went viral, causing more disruption to daily American life than anything in my many years. That is some bad luck. In this disaster, you have lost people dear to you, people who are not with us to share your commencement. Their absence deepens and complicates the emotions of this day. Aching, we mourn their loss. Also, through no fault of your own, you have lost contact with people not so near, but still dear. You did not know a year ago that you would never again shake hands with some of your classmates. You've been living in bubbles of 5 if you're lucky, or 4, still pretty lucky, or 3, depends on the other 2, or in bubbles of 2. And some of you have carried on law school in a bubble of 1, eating alone, without anyone to debate whether future interests, like butterfat, make life worth living. The right answer is yes. The virus has consigned you at times to high-tech classes, thin, cold mirages of physical proximity. This loss of contact is so hard for us social animals. As if that were not enough, we saw the murder of George Floyd, violence against Asians, and continuing demonization of oppressed communities. Add to that the insurrection, and you have watched our social and democratic fabric tear apart. Your generation has suffered some distinctly bad luck. Nevertheless, you have persisted. You have shown extraordinary courage, determination, and focus in driving forward to this day, not allowing even a global pandemic to deprive you of your education and your commitment to your professional aspirations. You have represented Maurer honorably, serving as leaders of the two classes who followed you. You used your pre-COVID year of normal law school to mentor and guide in a way that is touching and unique. You have been true ambassadors for the school in trying times. We, the faculty, administration, and staff, joined together today with your dear ones to celebrate your inspiring and heartwarming accomplishment. Most of you will face more adversity in the future. And when you do, think back to this time, to this very day. You did this. You did this hard thing. You studied, you thought, you spoke, you wrote. You learned that the rule against perpetuities is the greatest rule in all of the law. And you completed law school. And you did it during a pandemic. In the future, I hope you will also remember your good luck. What is that, you might ask? Well, how about your brain? Most people don't get the brains that you have got. You were dealt a great hand of genetic cards. You can thank your parents for that inter vivos gift of incommensurable value. And you grew up in an environment that would nourish your brain, making the most of your genetic potential. Whatever the confluence of factors, you got the chance to train your gray gift to think like a lawyer. There are millions of people around the globe with great brains who never got that chance. However, keep in mind that thinking like a lawyer is not always an optimal strategy. If we have trained you well, you know how to pick your words and how to pick at the words of others. But sometimes it exasperates people when you pick at their words. Believe me, I've annoyed many people needlessly. You know how to make an argument, but your supply of argumentation might exceed the demand. Keep the price high by restricting your output. Of course, your character also hovers inches above your shoulders. The tenacity that got you through law school resides in that same brain. Your capacity for hard work is part of your lucky environmental and genetic endowment. I give credit to you, but you can share your credit with your luck. You are lucky to have your brain. There's still more luck. You are lucky to have the support of your loved ones, those who have helped make this day possible, helped in so many ways unknown to me. I hope you're thinking of them now. I speak for the Maurer family in thanking all of your dear ones for supporting you during your time with us. And you're lucky that being a lawyer can provide such meaningful work where one sees a problem, conceives of solutions, and puts one into action. In the law, your curiosity will be rewarded all of your life. Not long before Judge Oscar Davis died, my co-clerk said to him, "Judge, this was really an interesting case." Judge Davis responded, "They're all interesting cases." So keep reminding yourself, the law is great stuff, even when it needs reforming. Speaking of reform, as a lawyer, you will have a special opportunity to bend the arc of the moral universe. I know from your answers to questions and polls in class that you have a deep sense of justice, and you will use your legal education as a lever to bend that arc. I also know from your classroom demeanor and your training here that you will fight against a state of nature. You will fight for civility, where there is good temper between parties and all voices have a chance to be heard. You demand facts and reason, along with discourse that reflects the basic humanity of each person. You've been taught not to assume facts not in evidence. You will not assume people know something when they don't. You will stoke a spirit of generosity, establishing a rebuttable presumption of good faith and goodwill. You will not attribute to malice what might be mere ignorance. You will follow the example of the immortal John Lewis, treating others with compassion, respect, and dignity, and knowing that, along with the power of peaceful protest, there is a power in apology and forgiveness for the good of souls on both sides. As a lawyer, you will have the ability to bring happiness and comfort to people's lives. You will show up and you will do your duty. Just as you have done here at Maurer, you will be citizens of your communities, cultivating democracy. In class and at school events, in competitions and in pro bono projects in the larger communities, your behavior has demonstrated beyond a reasonable doubt that you have the sympathy to make the world a better place by training your lucky brain on a bit of it. Your continued generation of positive externalities will enrich your lives too, in a circle that never ends. So, despite the bad luck, remember that it will not define you. You will not be limited by the dead hand of the past. You will write your own story. You are already adding light to the world. I can tell because you've brightened mine, and I am only at the periphery of your glow. Your legal lens will intensify your beam. Yesterday, your contingent future interests became possessory. Your diploma vested in you, indefeasibly. The trustees of Indiana University granted you legal title to your degree, not mere color of title, true legal title. But you will hold it in trust, sharing beneficial title with those to whom you are connected by the most dear and tender affections, and with the world. Think about the legacy you will leave. What will be said about you in the future, beyond lives and being, plus 21 years? How do you want to be remembered in perpetuity? In case you've just now been trying out a new position for sleeping, fear not, your good luck continues. This speech is almost over. Along with the law, you are great stuff. And it was my great luck to be your teacher. Thank you and congratulations.
Jeff, thank you for those great words. And for all the family and friends, I think you now know that Professor Stake is a property law professor. And that was a brilliant speech. Thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce our student speakers for the class of 2021, one representing students in the graduate degree programs and one representing students in the Juris Doctorate program. Both student speakers were selected by a committee of students, faculty, and staff. First, speaking on behalf of the graduates of our Graduate Legal Studies program is Eleonora Colombo. Eleonora is an LLM graduate in financial regulation and capital markets at the law school in a dual degree partnership program granted by Bocconi University in Italy. There, she is simultaneously completing her LLB degree in law with a major in international policies and institutions. At the law school, Eleonora served as a student ambassador, the LLM representative for the International Students Association, and a volunteer for the Community Legal Clinic. In fall 2020, she obtained an internship at Lawyers Without Borders. In spring 2021, she was selected to present her research at the 2021 statewide Summit on Women in Technology. Throughout the year, she was trusted with managing a multilingual independent clinic project at IU, and currently she is working with IU Professor Shauna Wallace as a research assistant in antitrust law. She plans to take the New York bar and add to her comparative experience by working in the United States for the coming year. So with this, I turn the podium over to Eleonora Colombo.
Thank you so much. Dear class of 2021, still me, Eleonora. After some of the professors, deans, and colleagues started reaching out to me, asking if I would be the one delivering this speech, I just found the courage to step forward and decided to share. I thought if they believe I can be their voice, I should stand up for them and embrace all the trust, the stories, the help, and the depth that we got between us. Even if virtually, I just want to bring everyone on the stage with me today and showcase this newborn, larger self that grew as one this year and was filled with vulnerability and beauty. I have built my relationship with you based on blatant honesty, and that's still going to be me today. So now that we're putting, hopefully, COVID behind us, I just figured it's time to unmask. So I'm not going to lie. This year was a punch in the face and a velvet glove. I got on IU on a scholarship program after a very competitive selection process, and the dream did not even start yet. I risked not being able to get here. I literally had to harass the guy at the visa embassy with daily calls for hours on end when I finally got on a plane. And the departure itself wasn't easy either. In fact, like many of you, I have lost people that were dear to me in this pandemic. People that I did not have the time to grieve, losses that I could not process. So I kind of felt like a box, shipped on a plane. There's much awaited present with a bit too much to unpack inside of me. So in Japan, there's an art, and it's called kintsukuroi. It consists in repairing broken objects by putting gold between the cracks. And well, that's exactly what IU did this year for me. This community has patiently collected me piece by piece and put me back together. After derealization and detachment, I felt like I woke up from an emotional coma, and IU was the first breath of fresh air right after the slumber. So me, a lost baggage, I found a new purpose and a new life. In fact, I think at IU, I understood why I chose law. And it was kind of about time after 5 years dedicating my life to it. Working at the legal clinic was, I think, the spark, the life-changing experience that made me understand that I could help the ones stuck in the cycle individually. And that pushed me to want to stop the cycle for good. So pursuing this goal to provide multilingual interpreter and legal services to the community and other pro bono associations helped us fostering inclusion this year and cooperation among this very diverse and interconnected community that Indiana law and languages. So I had the honor to hold a lecture at the 2021 statewide summit on women in tech. And there I shared how I learned that implementing life-changing policies to achieve an even playing field should be the product of ethical reasons and not political compromise. And then through the Career Service Office and the International Students Office, I got the chance to work with Lawyers Without Borders, and it was amazing. I could focus on transnational criminal law. I could research human and wildlife trafficking and child enforced labor in South Africa and South America and West Africa. So before, I just thought having an impact depended on smart policy solution at the upstream level that always need economic theory to be sustainable. But today, I just understood that that's never enough if you don't have a deep understanding of the human factor. So growing up, I was always obsessed with myths. And one of my favorite is King Midas. So Midas has this amazing power. Everything he touches, he turns into gold. And I know the stadium the other day was full of Midas on the graduation day. You know, they were achieving a prestigious degree, clerkships, internships in prominent firms, if not positions. And in the beginning, I think the pandemic led me, like many of us, to be more of our professional selves than our personal selves. And at times I felt like I lost contact with my humanity. So achieving the career goals of seasoned professionals as we are, inside, I felt like a kid still playing an adult, juggling with all this restlessness and loss of connection. So I think the perfect parable of this year at IU is coming to terms with these emotions through two myths that are basically a word of distance away, you know. So I just want to thank my colleagues for translating my longings, my drives, and my purpose in life to myself. All it took me to grasp this Greek myth was a Japanese one. And all it took to see myself was just, you know, someone else's eyes. So I just want to congratulate all the Midas of today, because your richness does not come from material things. You managed to turn this curse into a blessing. And ours was the most contagious of panaceas. You managed to make gold of every single restless heart you touched. And one of those, fortunately, is mine. So oh, this talented Midas with sensibility and creativity, you spread knowledge and generosity. And I think with that, we fixed each other. We filled our cracks and we held our ends at a safety distance. So it is just a true honor for me today to congratulate the class of 2021 with my golden cracks right on site. Thank you, because we became kings of our destiny. Thank you so much.
Eleanor, thank you so much for those generous words. It was so great you were able to spend your time earning your graduate degree here in Bloomington. Now speaking on behalf of the JD students, it's my pleasure to introduce John Pope. John grew up in a small rural town in Utah. He then attended Utah State University and received a degree in finance and personal financial planning. During his undergraduate degree, he ran a small online company selling socks and ties, served a 2-year mission for his church in Mexico City, and met and married, and this is a quote, the cutest gal in the world, Allie. After working in financial services for 3 years, John and Allie felt strongly to attend law school. And after visiting Indiana, they fell in love with Bloomington and the community here at the Maurer School of Law. His greatest achievement in law school is becoming a father through adoption. After graduation, Allie, John, and their daughter Edith will be moving back to Utah, so John can work in-house at a great company. John, I'll turn it over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dean. My wife, Allie, and I got a surprise phone call one day near the start of my 2L year to let us know that our daughter was in the NICU. This was surprising because before the phone call, we didn't even know we had a daughter. It was September 6th, 2019. Exactly 1 year earlier to the day, my wife, Allie, and I suffered a heartbreaking miscarriage after having saved up thousands of dollars for in vitro fertilization to try and start a family. After this heart-wrenching experience 1L year, we announced our desires to grow our family through adoption. We had finally completed our adoption paperwork only 1 day before the surprise call. Expecting a long wait, we were shocked to get the call. A baby girl was in the NICU at Fort Wayne, in need of a mom and a dad. We didn't know much about this sweet girl. We knew her weight and what drugs she was withdrawing from. But most importantly, we knew we were parents. This unique personal experience opened my eyes to the unique character of the students and faculty here at the Maurer School of Law. From the day Allie and I said we wanted to adopt, we were met with an outpouring of love, support, and generosity that just blew us away. Kind people asked me all the time, and still do to this day, how little Edie was doing. My professors immediately supported my joining virtually into class while Edie was in the NICU, and that was way before virtual was the norm. We were overwhelmed with gifts from fellow students, faculty, and even alumni. A group of students happily became Edie babysitters when we needed an extra hand. The challenges my wife and I face are always evolving, as are the challenges facing each of you. Without this caring community at Maurer, I would not have been able to wade through the difficult moments to taste the sweetness of pure joy. And that joy has been magnified by my interactions with all of you. It has been said, success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome. It has also been said, adversity introduces us to ourselves. We have each been through challenges during law school, some personal and some affecting the whole world. Through these challenges, we have found that we can be stronger when we turn out and support each other. We are lifted higher when we lift those around us. And that is what I found at Maurer. I was lifted time and again by all of you. I am grateful for adversity that makes us stronger and better. Together, we have navigated cold calls and legal briefs, elections and pandemics, oral arguments and normal arguments, late night dates with Carol in the library, don't tell my wife, and of course, visits to any number of buffets to eat way too much food. Throughout all these experiences, I have witnessed the strong, constant, and caring nature of the students and faculty at the Maurer School of Law. You all give me confidence that the law is in good hands. Because of my experiences among the people of Maurer, I'm optimistic about the future. Some challenges we will leave behind as we graduate, Some persist and may never completely conclude, and others are yet to come. But to quote one of the greatest legal thinkers of all time, Bob Marley, every little thing gonna be all right. I look around on this screen and I don't see wonderful lawyers. I see wonderful people who are going to be amazing lawyers. Not because of the size of your intellect, which is impressive, or your unsurpassed legal reasoning, which is amazing, but because you are caring, loving, and kind, even during the toughest of challenges, which is far more important than being smart, especially in the field of law. Through the experience of adoption, my family expanded to include a new child, just as we had dreamed. And in a development we never could have dreamed of, it expanded to include all of you. Thank you for inspiring me to be better and do better as we launch into this next amazing step of our lives. Thank you so much.
John, thank you for those kind words. We have reserved a spot, I think, in about the class of 2043 for Edie. So you just let us know. We're holding that spot now. So once again, this year, the graduating class has decided to make a gift to the law school. And that gift will be presented by Sarah Kelly, who is the chair of the 3L Pledge Committee. Please join me in welcoming Sarah. Sarah is from Detroit, Michigan, and has an undergraduate degree from Tulane University and a PhD from Michigan State University. She has served in multiple leadership positions during law school, including president of the Intellectual Property Association, an admissions fellow, the note editor for IP Theory, co-organizer for Maurer CHIPS, and the communications coordinator for the graduate and professional student government. In the fall, she'll be joining the biotechnology patent group at Stern Kessler in Washington, D.C. Sarah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dean Parrish. I'm just going to share my screen. Every year, the graduating class has an opportunity to give back to the school through the class gift campaign. In such a challenging year, the 2021 Class Gift Committee wanted to be sensitive to the challenges that face our fellow students and determined that the theme of this year's class gift would be students helping students. Every dollar pledged from the 2021 class gift will be directed to the Len Fromm Student Emergency Fund. The Len Fromm Fund is in place to assist students in emergency situations who are in financial distress or facing financial hardship. Emergency funds are given to applicants who are unable to meet immediate and essential expenses because of temporary financial hardship. Because so many students are still feeling the effects of COVID-19, pledging donations to the Len Fromm Fund allows our class, the class of 2021, to support fellow and future law students as we leave Maurer. On behalf of the Class Gift Committee, I'm happy to announce that we had nearly 60 donations and pledges of varying amounts that will give thousands of dollars back to the Maurer community and students in need. Please join me in recognizing those students who are listed here who pledged to donate to the 2021 class gift. Thank you all for committing to your fellow Maurer students and continuing to foster such a great law school community as young alumni. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Sarah, and thanks to the entire class for that generous parting gift to the Len Fromm Emergency Fund. At this point, we wish to present several awards that normally we would recognize on our traditional Friday evening party in the Jerome Hall Law Library. Each year, the graduating class selects one graduate legal studies student and one JD student to recognize with the Outstanding Contributor to Student Life Award for her or his outstanding contributions to their peers and the law school community. Also, the Gavel Award is given to one faculty or staff member who, according to a vote of the graduating class, is the faculty or staff member who has done the most to contributing to that class during their enrollment. These awards will be presented by Leslie Davis, Assistant Dean for International Programs, Ann McFadden, Assistant Dean for Student Services, and Aviva Orenstein, Professor of Law and Val Nolan Faculty Fellow. Let me begin by turning the virtual podium over to Dean Leslie Davis. Dean Davis?
Hi, everyone. It is my great pleasure to be able to present virtually the Outstanding Contribution to Student Life Award to Eleonora Colombo. all of you know Eleonora. I challenge anyone to find a student organization she's not at least peripherally involved with. I challenge anyone to find someone who she doesn't call a friend. Eleonora has brought a sense of community and belonging with her all the way from Italy, and she has caught everyone else up in that net, as evidenced by the fact that her classmates voted for her for this award, as well as to be their student speaker. So as Eleonora said, having an impact does not depend just on policy. It depends on people. So Eleonora, thank you for being this class's Midas and being an unstoppable force for goodness and joy. So we are pleased and proud to present you with this award.
Thank you so much. That's all I can say right now without crying. So yeah.
Well, congratulations, Eleonora. At this point, Dean Ann McFadden, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dean Parrish. I am very, very proud and very, very excited today to be able to present the Outstanding Contributor to Student Life Award for the JD program to Brian San Jose. Brian is one of the most friendly, outgoing, loving, caring law students I have ever had the pleasure of working with. The sheer volume of candy that Brian redistributed from the Career Service Office to his fellow classmates no doubt contributed to his popularity among his peers. It is not just the candy, it is the support, the friendship, the good spirit, the good humor that Brian brought every single day. He made all of us in CSO smile. He made all of his classmates smile. And I know that Brian is so deserving of this award. And I'm just wish I was there to give you a hug, Brian, to say happy graduation. And I'm just very, very happy that you won this. So congrats.
Thank you, Dean McFadden. Thank you to everyone who voted for me. I mean, I couldn't have done it without y'all. Y'all made law school incredible. I mean, I didn't prepare a speech today because I didn't know I was giving a speech. So like every other law student, I'm just gonna wing it here. And I mean, Maurer was probably it is the best decision I've ever made in my life. The people behind me, the people that I've met through Maurer, the faculty, I mean, y'all have made my heart full coming here for the past 3 years. And I'm incredibly lucky and blessed to know every single one of y'all. And I hope that y'all reach out to me and I'm able to reach out to all of y'all in the next few years and decades on to come. And I'm very lucky to be with y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful day. Yes, please hit me up.
Well, congratulations, Brian, and congratulations on that award. Professor Orenstein, you're up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and a genuine pleasure to present the 2021 Gavel Award to Dean Ann McFadden. As Dean Parrish explained, the Gavel Award goes to a faculty or staff member who, according to the vote of the graduating class, has done the most to contribute to the 3L class. Class of 2021, Dean McFadden started when you started. She has been with you all 3 years. I am very proud to say that I chaired the committee that hired her because I have an eye for talent. In her 3 years as Assistant Dean for Career Services, Dean McFadden has assembled and led a fabulous team of student-oriented professionals. She has worked tirelessly, modeling the highest levels of ethics and professionalism. She has made the Career Services Office a welcoming place, sharing her warmth, whimsy, notable fashion sense that often lands her on the Fashion of Maurer Instagram page. No one works harder or cares more for our Maurer students. I look forward to great things that Dean McFadden will accomplish in her new role as Assistant Dean for Student Services, as she assumes the mantle of Czarina of the Garden Suite, leading both career services and the Len Fromm Office for Student Affairs. I congratulate the class of 2021 on your accomplishments that brought you to this day, and on your good judgment in selecting Dean McFadden to receive the Gavel Award. Congratulations, Dean McFadden.
Thank you so much. Like Brian, I did not prepare a speech, but I wanted to say that the class of 2021 has a very special place in my heart. Coming here was a huge jump for me career-wise, and feeling like I got to start with you, to relive all of the craziness of 1L year with you, to go through the pandemic, supporting you, to see your successes, to celebrate your wins, and to help console you on, the disappointments that inevitably come in law school was just really special. I talk about you at home. My daughter thinks of you as competition for my affections. So even though I'm not old enough to be any of your moms, I can always be your fun babysitter or your cool aunt. So please keep in touch with me and with all of us in CSO. You mean so much to us. Your success is our success. And we want to be here to celebrate with you every step of the way. So thank you for this honor. Truly, one of the biggest honors I can even imagine receiving is this vote of confidence from my dear, dear class of 2021. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations, Anne, and we're so glad you made the jump too, and so well deserved. Before we close the ceremony, I want again to extend a special thank you to Professor Jeff Stake, Eleonora Colombo, John Pope, and Sarah Kelly for participating in today's ceremony. And congratulations again to Eleonora, Brian, and Dean McFadden for the well-deserved award recognition. I also wanted to pause for a moment, and I hope you'll join me in thanking Katie Beck, Chelsea Browning, and the many, many staff who've done so much behind the scenes to make this graduation happen over the last couple of days. They've really gone above and beyond. Before we close, I get as Dean's prerogative to say a few brief words, and I'll keep it small, just three small things, nothing too earth-shattering, but first, I want to emphasize you are going to go on and do great things. That may sound a little trite as you sit here, as you're turning the next page or to the new chapter in your career. And yet I know it to be true. I just know too many lawyers. If you bring to the profession even half the energy, half the creativity, half the optimism and the spirit that you brought to this school, you're already better than 90% of the lawyers out there. And I often end graduation with a quote from former IU President Herman B. Wells, and I'll do so today. In 1962, President Wells in his commencement remarks said, quote, "Make no small plans. They are too difficult to achieve and unworthy of your ability. That is certainly true of your talents. Dream big. You're going to go on and do great." I look forward to hearing about all your successes and all your future accomplishments. And when something great happens in your life, a promotion, a big win, significant achievement, or even a small win and achievement, please reach out and let us share in your success. Second, please stay in touch. Graduation should not mark the end of your relationship with the law school, but the very beginning. Each year, we host alumni receptions all over the country and throughout the world. We have a young alumni steering committee, an alumni board, a global dean's advisory board, a board of visitors, and a wide range of other advisory boards and groups. Each year, 700 to 1,000 alumni come back to judge moot court, serve as mentors, be guest speakers in classes, and serve in workshops. Many of our alumni make a pilgrimage back to Bloomington, or it might just be just next, but still they come back each year. And I hope you do too. Make those plans now. You'll find life gets in the way if you don't do it. But if you start now, I promise you 20 years from now, those annual returns to Bloomington, whether it's for a day or 2 days, will be some of the best memories you have. Each year I meet with alums, some who have been gone 30, 40 years, that every weekend on the same weekend in October, they come back, have a drink at Nick's, stop by the law school, and relive the memories. I hope you do that too. The reality is the future of this great law school depends on our alumni. And my hope is you'll continue to wear cream and crimson with pride no matter where you go. Last and most importantly, thank you. You've been a tremendous class. It's been an honor to be your dean. It's been a difficult year, and you made it through with grace, with a can-do attitude, and a way that supported your classmates. Usually deans quote from philosophers or famous historical persons to end their speeches, people like Steve Jobs or Maya Angelou or Mother Teresa or Gandhi. For me, when I'm looking for inspiration, and I probably should have asked permission to do this, but I turn to Professor Charlie Jay's Facebook page. It's a source of inspiration to be sure for many. And Professor Jay is our resident poet and humorist, masquerading as a chaired law professor. And while I edited significantly, yesterday he posted, and I quote, "Our students are the true heroes of the narrative from the last year. He emphasized your patience, your courage, your humor. And he said that he's, quote, watched you scramble and claw as your futures heaved and buckled with each new unforeseen development, not with mindless panic, but with fierce determination." I deleted the mention about camel farts, but I know his thoughts are those of our faculty. We are all so incredibly proud of you. Most importantly, I always love that graduation occurs very near Mother's Day. For all the mothers out there, I can't imagine a better or nicer graduation gift. Congratulations on Mother's Day. I know you're as proud as your loved ones as we are. Thank you for the last 3 years. We were going to close this ceremony with Indiana University's alma mater, sung by graduating JD student Caitlin Wilbanks. Caitlin auditioned for this privilege and was selected by a committee of students, faculty, and staff. Caitlin is from Monticello, Indiana. While in law school, she participated in the Inmate Legal Assistance Project, the Federal Habeas Litigation Clinic, the Indiana Journal of Law and Social Equality, and the Center for Law, Society, and Culture. She plans to continue her work with the Survivor Justice Program at the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic. I should say off script, she just recently argued before the Seventh Circuit, and it was a fabulous argument and made us incredibly proud. As a special treat for our graduates and guests, Caitlin performed her rendition of the alma mater on the stage at IU Auditorium, where we normally host our law school graduation ceremony. Thank you, Caitlin, for lending us your beautiful voice. And thank you, Charles H. Webb, Dean Emeritus of the IU Jacobs School of Music, our organist, for lending pomp and circumstances to our ceremony. Upon completion of the alma mater, a pre-recording of the conferral of degrees will play. We recognize that many of you participated in the Indiana University ceremony yesterday, and for this reason, our formal ceremony will end at the conclusion of the alma mater. You are more than welcome to stay on to watch the naming of our graduates by Deans Leslie Davis, Ann McFadden, and Aviva Orenstein. On behalf of the entire law school, again, congratulations to the graduating class. We will follow your lives and your careers with interest and affection, and we hope very much that you will stay in touch with us wherever you go. I know it's difficult to do this online, but if the moment catches you, you should feel free to join Caitlin in the singing of the alma mater. The lyrics are in the inside front cover of the digital program, and we'll post it in that chat function for those inside the Zoom meeting. Caitlin, it's all yours. Take us home.
So that's mine. And this napkin. Put it in the fridge.
I think we're working on it. Bear with us.
Come and join in song together, shout with might and main. Our beloved alma mater, sound her praise again. Gloriana frangipana, ere to her be true. She's the pride of Indiana,
Hello, my name is Leslie Davis. I'm the Assistant Dean for International Programs at the Maurer School of Law. We are privileged each year to have among us students who have come from around the world. Many of these students have practiced law or served in their governments or as judges in their home countries before coming to study here. Their presence in the law school classrooms and in the Maurer community enriches all of our lives and reminds us all of the close connections we share with the rest of the world. These 2021 graduates hail from Armenia, Brazil, China, Ghana, France, India, Italy, Jamaica, Korea, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, Thailand, and the United Kingdom. Dean Parrish, faculty members, and honored guests, I have been bestowed the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Laws, Master of Comparative Law, and Doctor of Juridical Science. The following students have spent the requisite amount of time in the study of law to qualify for the graduate law degree. Montira Achavanuntakul, Suchan An, Barjas Alomar, Ibrahim Aloraini, Saad Abdul Mohsin Alowaished, Roland Atakessan, Heijin Cho, Jail Cho, Eleonora Colombo, Sabrina Facey, Kagesh Gautam, Chia Huang, Shrilraja Inamdar, Yo Ri Zhang, Natamon Lauhasakul, Shuimei Liu, Uguang Lu, Islam Mohammed, Patira Pimpimo, Muhamdarum Ralala Jim Manel Iona Pinawala, Anna Louise Timms, Theodora Chioma Uti, Sungryong Yu, Ray Long Zhang, Yuling Zhao.
Welcome everyone to this wonderful occasion. My name is Aviva Ornstein, and for 3 years, I've been the Leonard D. Fromm Associate Dean for Student Affairs. Along with Dean Ann McFadden, who is the new Assistant Dean for Student Services, we will present our JD graduates. Dean Parrish, faculty, and honored guests. We have the distinct honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. The following students have worked incredibly hard under exceptionally difficult circumstances to spend the requisite amount of time in the study of law to qualify for the degree. Elizabeth Adams. David Demola Adelia. Maruk Ali. Brenton Bachega. Maruk Badar. Julie Bathel. Akisha Barnes. Audrey Brittingham. Mary Morgan Bromley. Benjamin Patrick Burdick. Jeremy Burley. Alexander Bussey. Cody James Can. Jingsu Cheng. Madeline Anna Clary. Dakota M. Coates. Bo-Wei Chung. Casey Cook. Hayes Cronk. Kelsey Doherty. Garrett Darian Toth. Meredith Dickerson. Nicholas Eitzert. Elizabeth Emanuel. Cameron M. Fathour. Samantha Feistritzer. Joshua C. Felty. Dominic Farrow. Stephanie Figoria. Mark Finley. Sarah Gabriella Fischel. Shayna Haas Galloway. Anna Garau. Erica Gabor. Nicholas Gilhood. John A. Gillen. Michael Glennon. David Gray. Jack Griffith. Melanie Grossman.
Abigail Elaine Goldie. Clara Pentel Hennigar Gutwein. Samira Haddad. Drew Michael Halter. Andrew Hayes. Michael Angel Hernandez. Mary Kate Hetzel. Amanda Crusoe Hibbler. Talia Hobson. Peyton Hoff. Zelong Derek Hu. Cassidy Shea Houlihan. Anis Hussein. Wenting Huang. Zixin Huang. Brian Hudson. Andrew Ireland. Shu Ping Chang. David Johnson. Philip Jimerson Jones. Huey Kellner. Sarah Kelly. Shane B. Kelly. Parker J. Kempen. Silas Anderson Kern. Callie Kidwell. Elizabeth Killian. Kristen Kinnist. Dane Kirchhoff Foster. Grant Kirkpatrick. Caitlin Klingler. Audrey Knudsen. Julia Kosnick. Kevin Crouchide. George Krug. Jad Laban. Jordan C. Lee. Brett Lenars. Bernard J. Loberman IV. Sterling Long.
Ziyu Ma. Melanie Magden. Luke Cash Mansfield. Estefano Martinez. Seth Mattingly. Monica Makowski. Bailey Mittman. Colin Mockbee. Hillary Moyer. Garrett Anthony Moores. Catherine Morgan. Mary Tullis Morris. Autumn Murphy. Rachel Julia Myers. Austin John Nall. Ju Nam Shanae Nelson. Emma Ng. Nicholas J. Orms. Erin Colleen Panel. Eric Panther. Alexander J. Pantos. Payal Patel. Virgilio Polino. Zachary R. Pfeiffer. Victoria Peterson. John Pope. Jocelyn Marie Porter. Maureen Reedy. Charles E. Rice. Matthew Reed Ritter. Natalia Rivera. Matthew Rosenstein. Stephanie Ryan. Fuxing Sai. Brian San Jose. Maximilian Schmidt. Abby Christine Schneller. Haley Sears. Emily Seary.
Janelle Shankin. Natalie R. Shepard. Robert Silman. Jigyasa Singla. Justin Snyder. Sheldon Reese Sobel II. Jordan Spence. William Stockdale. Jordan Stroh. Mary Strong. Samira Janine Suleiman. Jonathan Aaron Sussler. Jamie Stisco. Willow Thomas. Yuning Tian. Matthew Triplett. Taylor Lee Turner. Noah W. Vancina. Peyton D. Wallace. Shenyi Wang. Tanner Brooks Watson. Matthew Rick Wizoon. Joseph Mark Wiegand. Caitlin Wilbanks. Liam Williams. Alexandra Wilson. Joshua Hanok Winograd. Trevor Warby. Ariana Wright. Monica Wright. Iran Rita Shaw. Lynn Ye. Michael York. Morgan Catherine York. Yu-Chi Yo. Mustafa Hatem Mustafa Zaki Taha. Shou Zhang. Xin Feng Zhang.